Disturbing Reddit finds that you can definitely find on Reddit, but I most certainly do not suggest doing so. Part 4. There is a subreddit called R Drugs, and it is for people that do illicit substances recreationally, and they get together and talk about it. But someone got on there saying that he had gotten a hold of some Datura. Now, if you are not aware of what Datura is a highly poisonous plant, and some people ingest it in one way or another because supposedly it is said to give effects similar to that of acid and or mushrooms. Datura is very, very unpredictable, and everybody reacts to it differently, so it's very, very, very dangerous. A gentleman came on this R Drugs and said that he got some Datura and was wanting to know the best way to consume it. Everyone was telling him not to do it, that it was super dangerous. Like, even heroin addicts were like, bro, stay away from Datura. Apparently he did it anyway, and he posted on that same thread just a bunch of random stuff. One of the things that he said was, "How normal again, stop now." And I went to the thread itself and I read some of the things that he had said, and who knows, maybe he was just messing with people. But honestly, it was super, super chilling, and then he never posted again. So, don't do drugs. Drugs are bad, okay? This next one was on the thread that most people are familiar with, the AITA, which is Am I the Asshole subreddit. It was a woman that was very pregnant, and she was getting on there asking if she was the asshole for being kind of weirded out by the situation at hand. So what was going on is that she was very pregnant, and her husband and her father-in-law were completely convinced that she was going to die in childbirth, just like her husband's mother did, to the point where they were telling her to like pack up all her non-maternity clothes so they wouldn't have to do it after she died. They were even asking her to make a milestone video for their unborn child, because they just knew that she was not going to be around to see this child grow up. They just knew that she was going to die in childbirth. So it went really, really quickly from super paranoid husband and father-in-law to the husband and father-in-law are definitely plotting to kill this woman. As far as I know, after this post and up to a certain point, the original poster stopped posting. Again, who knows if it was real? Who knows if it was just a ploy to get people interested and become Reddit famous, if that's something that you want to be famous for. But if you want to find it, you can just search for AITA, my husband is sure I'm going to die during childbirth, Reddit, and you'll be able to find it. There are 2 subreddits that are pretty dark. The first one is r/regretful parents, and it is exactly what it sounds like. It's a bunch of parents that had kids and then regretted having their children. They get together and talk about how much they hate their life, but it gets really, really dark really, really quickly there as well. The other one is r/dead Redditors. People get on there and talk about Redditors that have left this world, whether natural causes, accidents, sickness, or by their own hand. It is a little bit eerie to just see like posts that they had made right before they died, or even some people that had been documenting their journey to ending their own life. If you dive deep enough into the dark recesses of Reddit, you may stumble across unsecured webcams. Unsecured webcams are usually, it's just like people doing mundane everyday tasks. It's probably super boring just watching someone click around on their computer, but it is very, very scary how easily accessed unsecured webcams are. That is why you always want to keep either your webcam cover on or just unplug the damn thing. Otherwise, creeps on the internet might see you dancing around in your tidy whities too. I'm sexy and I know it, which is such an embarrassment. This, I think this one was on the AMA Ask Me Anything subreddit. So this guy thought that he was into scat sex because he watched a lot of scat pornography. If you are not aware of what scat is, it is having someone defecate on you. He saved up his money and he got an escort to fly in from another city and make his dreams come true. So, you know the old saying, be careful what you wish for? That definitely applies in this particular situation because everything was ready to go. She had assumed the position, and right as it was about to happen, the man had an epiphany that he did not, in fact, want to be defecated on. But it was too late. I mean, once it starts, you can't stop it. So he had to lie there and get frosted by an escort. I wouldn't read it if I were you. There is a subreddit called Glitch in the Matrix, and that's where I think this one originated from. So it is, first and foremost, it's a very, very cool subreddit. If you ever get bored late at night and want to do some doom scrolling, it's a great place to do it. But this person got on this Glitch in the Matrix subreddit and was talking about how in his apartment that he lived at with like 2 other dudes, his bedroom was the only bedroom that had a bathroom in it. And he talked about how like his roommates were always jealous that he had his own bathroom and they had to use the hall bathroom or whatever. And the guy went on like vacation or something for a couple of weeks, and he came back and he went to go use his bathroom in his bedroom, and it was nothing but a fucking closet with his shit in there. Just a regular, schmegular closet with coats and boxes and dust and shit. So he goes to his roommates and he was like, how the hell did y'all do this in the short amount of time that I was gone? You took my bathroom away from me? What the hell? So his roommates then informed him that he had never had a bathroom in his bedroom, that it had always been just a closet and nothing more. So he was freaking out, huge glitch in the matrix, tripping. Turns out he had a brain tumor and he was hallucinating all of these things. But like, my question is, were you going in there and peeing in your closet? Inquiring minds want to know. On that one, you can probably just go to Glitch in the Matrix and search for tumor, and you should be able to find it. There's a subreddit that is called Suddenly Elton John. It is videos and clips of people that get hit very, very hard, whether it be in the face or body slammed or whatever, and their hands go straight out into the air, like Elton John playing the piano. And it is so disturbing because if someone gets hit very, very hard and they assume what is called the fencing response, that arm straight out, that usually signifies severe brain damage. The fencing response is thought to occur when someone gets hit so hard that the soft tissue of their brain bounces against the hard bone of their skull. And it can cause temporary and or permanent brain damage and or a lot of times death. Many, many moons ago when I was, I don't know, like maybe 19, I was watching, it was an MMA fight, and one of the boxers struck the other boxer up the side of the head, and the boxer that got struck, his arms went out, he fell, and his arm stayed straight out, and I thought it was funny. So I took a picture of it and I posted it on Facebook, and that song, and his hands go up and they stay there, was super popular, and I thought I was being super clever and hilarious by putting that as the caption. And anyways, now I feel like a total dick for it, and I think I've been paying for that karma for my entire life. I hope that guy's okay. If you're watching and that was you, please remove the curse from me. Now this one, I want to say that it was on the subreddit Ask Me Anything. So this man talks about how he met a woman and fell in love with her, and they were together for 2 years and they got married and they had a couple of kids, and he had a really great job, great life. Everything was just picture perfect for this guy. Until one day he is sitting on the couch and he notices that a lamp looks odd. Like the perspective of the lamp was weird, like it was inverted. It was still 3D, but he says it was just wrong. So he talks about how he could not look away from this lamp, how he stayed up all night that night staring at the lamp, and he stopped eating, he stopped drinking, he stopped going to the bathroom. He never left the couch for 3 days. He stared at this lamp before his wife was like, hey bro, we need to get you some help. She had someone try to come and talk to him. I don't know if it was like a doctor or like a priest or what the situation was there. He said that by this time his cognizance was breaking up and his wife was freaking out, and she took the kids to her mother's house, and while he was sitting there alone, he had his epiphany. The lamp is not real. The house is not real. My kids are not real. None of this is real. The last 10 years of my life are not real. So once he had this epiphany, the lamp started growing wider and deeper. It was still inverted dimensions, and it took up his entire perspective until the only thing that he could see in his line of vision was the red lampshade. And then he started hearing voices and screams and all kinds of weird noises. And then the first words out of his mouth were, I'm missing teeth. And he opened his eyes and he was laying on his back on the sidewalk surrounded by people. And as it turns out, when he was in his last semester in college, he had been assaulted by a football player in the street. And the football player was 325 pounds and he was 120 pounds. And while he was unconscious on the ground for a very short amount of time, he lived an entire life. 10 years worth of a life. Poof. So he was taken to a hospital by a cop, and they did CT scans and all that good stuff, and he was fine. But he went through a few years of really terrible depression because, I mean, he was grieving the loss of not only his loved ones, but his entire life. Could you imagine waking up and it being 10 years ago? Imagine me waking up in my 22-year-old body where I was when I was 22. That's a nightmare in and of itself. He talked about how he would cry himself to sleep, hoping to see his wife in his dreams. He says that he never has, but sometimes he sees his son. Usually just a glimpse out of his peripheral vision. His son is perpetually 5 years old and he can never hear what he says. So now I'm over here like questioning my entire existence. If this is real, if you're real and I'm real, prove it by reposting this video. If you don't repost this video, I will know that this is all either a dream or a simulation. And every little mishap is nothing but a glitch in the matrix. Thanks for watching.